I'm Jamie Spratt, CEO of Mistango River Resources, MIS on the CSE. Really excited to give investors an update on the opportunities we're seeing for Mistango, and in particular, an update on our Omega project, which has a resource in the Larder Lake camp in Ontario. So let's get into it. I will be making some forward-looking statements, so be advised of that. So I jumped into this role in December. I'm excited to join the company. I think it's a great time to be building a gold company, but in particular, I think Mistango provides a great vehicle for that. We've got three very promising assets in Ontario, well supported by infrastructure. Two projects in the Kirkland Lake camp. Our Omega project has a resource that was completed in 2013. Hasn't been really looked at in the new gold price environment. We think that provides a huge opportunity. Our Kirkland West project is directly next to Agnico's producing Macassa mine. Great geology there, so we're excited about that. In addition, we have our Goldie Project, which is up in Thunder Bay District in the Shabandoan Gold Camp. That's an exciting emerging camp, and we think our Goldie project had some very promising results. So we continue to advance that. The other reason I've jumped into this role is our team. We've got a fantastic team, a technical team with all kinds of experience and lots of success. And then on the financial side, we've got a team with great financial and M&A experience, all supported by the OR Group, which is a fantastic resource for us to have as a company, and certainly part of the mix. Our balance sheet is strong. We've got $4 million in working capital. We've got supportive shareholders. We're using that balance sheet not just to advance our portfolio of Ontario projects, but we're busily and actively looking for more opportunities to make Mistango bigger and better. So that's where I see the opportunity. Let's kind of zoom into Kirkland Lake, the center of gravity for the company. As you look at my map there, you can see on the west side of the camp, you can see the Kirkland West project that's directly adjacent to Agnico's producing Macassa mine. Macassa produced 228,000 ounces at a grade of 16 grams per ton in 2023. I think that makes it the highest grade gold mine in Canada, if not the highest, certainly one of the highest. On the east side of the camp, we have Omega. Omega's in the Larder Lake district. We're surrounded by MAG Silver. MAG acquired Gatling Exploration in 2022 for a purchase price of $20 million. And further east in the camp, you've got the Kerr Addison mine that historically produced 12 million ounces. That's now held by a private company called Gold Candle, and Gold Candle's defined a resource there of 6 million ounces. So they're both exciting camps. They're well supported by infrastructure. It's a great place to be looking for gold. I'd like to delve into where we see the opportunity for Omega. So Omega, one of the things I said to our team in coming into the role was, I think Omega provides a real opportunity. I wanted to get into the data and see what was there. As I said at the outset, this was a project that hadn't been really looked at from at least a resource standpoint since 2013, when the company was under prior management. So Omega is a 585,000 ounce resource. 410,000 of that was an open pit, what they considered an open pit resource, above a half-gram cutoff grade. And then there was another 175,000 ounces of underground resource above a cutoff grade of 3 grams. So what we've done is we've taken all the data. There's lots of data. We've remodeled it. We're rewireframing it, having our resource guys relook at it. This is a process that's still underway, but I wanted to share this update with you. The first thing that comes out from this look at the data, and you can see on this offset cross section here, this is showing some of the new domains that have been modeled out in our kind of working model. this is a very consistent ore body. And if you look around at different projects, I would say it's pretty rare to find intercepts like this. I want to highlight what's some of the intercepts that come through the open pit resource area here. 42 meters at 2.8 grams, 41 meters at 2.7 grams, 22 meters at 4.3 grams, 20 meters at 4.6 grams, 18 meters at 4.6 grams. And then there's some longer, lower grade intercepts that include 107 meters at 0.8 grams, 66 meters at 1.3 grams, and 74 meters at 1.1 grams. So those are some pretty consistent intercepts. We think that's a great starting point. And here's another long section. This is a grade thickness plot of the southernmost domain in this working model. I'm not going to re-highlight the intercepts there, but you can see that the high-grade zones in that grade thickness plot tend to stick together. We find that very encouraging. The second point is that, this is still underway, and all the engineering and technical work still to be completed down the road. But our initial look at the data is showing us that this project is likely to be amenable to open pit. You can see the dip of the domains here. The deposit lends itself to, an open pit, and we find that promising. There's a second image that we've included here that shows some of the new domains. I think there are 10 domains in this working model, and a whittle pit. So we're encouraged by that. We think it's, there's significant potential to define open pit resources or to update further open pit resources. So we find that encouraging. The third point is that as we look at the data, there are gaps in the drilling. And there are gaps in particular to the southwest of the current resource model, areas where there needs to be follow-up drilling. Secondly, there's a zone called the Southwest Zone that sits along trend. Nice big footprint, significant strike length, high-grade showings at surface. There was a bulk sample out of that zone. That Southwest Zone hasn't been drilled in modern history. So we think that's a significant opportunity. We think looking at this resource model, at least at this point, certainly we're going to be looking at this at higher gold prices, but secondly, there are opportunities, as I've just alluded to, where drilling can define potentially more ounces and extend the resource envelope. So what we're working on with Omega is we are developing a work program, we're developing a drill program, and we're going to be coming out to update investors on what that work program looks like in the coming weeks. We think that's an opportunity. We think a starting point of a 585,000 ounce resource at 2013 gold prices in the midst of a camp supported by infrastructure, water, rail, power, manpower is a great place to start. So we're going to be looking to advance this, and we think there's a growth opportunity in this resource. So good project, good growth opportunity. We're excited about it, and so stay tuned for that. Kirkland West, many investors will know the history of Kirkland Lake. This is a great piece of ground. As I said at the outset, it's directly contiguous to Macassa, which is producing in excess of 200,000 ounces a year. If you know a little bit about the history of Kirkland Lake, you know that starting with the Toburn mine at the east end of Kirkland Lake, there was a series of 7 mines across the main break structure. This is the main geologic structure that brought most of the mineralizing fluids that supported the Kirkland Lake camp. There were 7 mines across that distance, and they produced collectively 25 million ounces from one ore body. So great geology. The last remaining producer in the camp is Macassa. If you know a little bit about the history of Macassa, Macassa had a long history, and then in 2005, the South Mine Complex was discovered. That completely changed the fortunes of that project, and they've been mining the South Mine Complex there for the last 10 or 15 years. So the same structures on the main break, the amalgamated break that ran through the Kirkland Lake camp, run right through our ground. Our structural work says that it's a promising place to be drilling. There was some drilling done in 2022 that intersected 86 grams over half a meter. So the grade was there. The thickness not yet there, but we continue to be encouraged by this project. We think it's a strategic land position and one of the best gold camps in Canadian history, and we're going to keep advancing that. So stay tuned for Kirkland West. The near-term focus in Kirkland Lake is going to be on Omega, where we see the lowest hanging fruit, but we continue to see Kirkland West as a real opportunity. Now turning to our Goldie project. Goldie, as I said, is in the Thunder Bay camp. In Thunder Bay in the Shabanda Gold Camp. We think this is an exciting emerging district. As you look at the map here, you can see the Moss Lake project. Moss Lake was spun out of West Dome in 2020. It's now held by Gold Shore Resources. All categories, that resource now stands at 6.7 million ounces, so a significant resource there on the west side of the camp. On the east side of the camp, you have Delta Resources, and if you go back and look at the drill results that Delta have put out over the last couple of years, they're defining certainly a bulk tonnage target, but they're also hitting some very exciting long, high-grade intercepts, some very high-grade shoots in the drilling so far. Our project is directly adjacent to the north and to the east of Delta. Our drilling in 2024 certainly confirmed that the same structures are on our ground. The same structures that are running right through the Delta ground continue on our ground. And then if you turn back to 2023 drilling, you can say that drilling certainly defined a mineralized body of up to 1 kilometer long. Lots of nice drill holes there, good grades, good thicknesses. Point being, the same structures that are on Delta's ground seem to be continuing on our ground. Again, we think this is an exciting emerging camp. We're going to continue advancing this project, and we're happy to be here. This as well is well supported by infrastructure, paved highway, power, water. Certainly makes the path forward a lot more straightforward. So stay tuned on Goldie. That's kind of the summary on the projects. So investors should stay tuned. We're going to have some catalysts coming out in the near term here. We are focused on Omega. We're going to be putting out a work program. We're going to be putting our money to work to drill that and expand it. We think there's a growth opportunity there. And we're going to continue looking at the data and seeing where the opportunities are at Omega. The other message I want to leave our shareholders with is that we are busily working away, looking for more opportunities to make the company bigger and better. We're going to be disciplined about that. We're very strategic about that, but that is going on in parallel to advancing our projects. We're looking for more projects that make sense, that can expand the company in creative and accretive ways. So, that's another potential catalyst. We'll see when when and if that happens. Our balance sheet is strong and supports us in that endeavor. And so stay tuned for that as well. So with that, I'll sign off there. We're looking forward to keeping our shareholders up to date in this venue and others. Please get in touch. We are wanting to stay in touch with all our shareholders as much as possible, and we'll be keeping you up to date as we move forward. So thanks for your support, and much appreciated.